DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is about being a professional. And I talk about being a professional all the time, often, in everything that I do. I always aim to be professional. And a lot of people had a wrong idea of what professional means. I was watching this Mike Tyson biopic once, and Mike Tyson was sitting by the bedside of the guy who taught him how to box, a guy named Cus D'Amato, and Cus was about to die. This is in the movie again. And Mike's sitting next to the bed, and he says, Cus, well, look, I got to fight tomorrow, Cus, but if you die today, I'm not fighting. And Cus said, listen, Mike, do you know what a professional is? And Mike said, yeah, professional is a person who gets paid to, and Cus cut him off. He said, no, professional has nothing to do with money, Mike. Professional is a person who goes out and performs every single day, no matter what they're feeling emotionally on the inside. And that's exactly what it means for all you in this video. So I want you to take an example. Let's think about kids. If any of you are kids and you have your parents around, or any of you are parents and you have kids, or maybe one day you'll become a parent, just think about how you will work with your kids. When you think about your kids, you will probably do anything to make sure that they have what they need. Yes or no? If you're a child right now, let's say you live with your parents, or you have lived with your parents before, do you think your parents would pretty much do anything to make sure that you had a roof over your head? Or you yourself, would you do anything to make sure your kids had a roof over their head? Let's go with that example. You would do anything to make sure your kids had a roof over their head. You would do anything to make sure your kids eat at night. You would even sacrifice eating yourself if it meant that would allow your kids to eat. You would do anything to make sure your kids got a good education. You would do anything to make sure your kids were safe and comfortable and at least somewhat happy. You would do anything. It'd be non-negotiable. It didn't matter if you were tired. It didn't matter if you had a bad day at work. It didn't matter if you didn't get any sleep. It didn't matter if you lost your job. It didn't matter if everything going on around you was just going the opposite direction from how you wanted it to go. There would be no negotiation about making sure your kids had somewhere to eat, something to eat, somewhere to sleep, clothes on their back, shoes on their feet, and at least had somewhat of a normal, relatively happy life. Can we agree with that? If you had kids, there would be no negotiation about any of that stuff. It is a duty. It is your job. It is absolute ironclad, no questions asked. True or not true? Now, all you got to do is if you agree with everything that I just said, all you got to do is take the word kids out of that conversation and replace it with basketball. Replace it with your business. Replace it with your website. Replace it with your relationships. Replace it with whatever it is that you want to achieve in life. Anything that you have a goal of achieving at a high level at, take the word kids out of that equation I used at the beginning of this video, and you put that word in, and you be non-negotiable about that. And what's going to happen once you decide to be non-negotiable, and again, this is a decision, it's not about the actions that you take, because once you make a decision, the actions are automatic. Once you make that decision, everything becomes non-negotiable. Oh, I absolutely have to make sure I finish writing that blog post. I absolutely have to record these videos. I absolutely got to make sure I send this tweet. I absolutely got to make sure I make that phone call. I don't care what time it is. I absolutely got to make sure I attend that meeting. I absolutely got to make sure I sign that document. I absolutely got to make sure I reply to all 10 of those emails. When you're a professional about something, it doesn't matter what you're feeling on the inside. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter if your girl's getting on your nerves. It doesn't matter if your dog died. It doesn't matter if you got in a car accident. It doesn't matter. If you are alive and breathing and you're a professional, it is non-negotiable for you to take care of what you need to take care of. And if you apply that professional mindset to every single thing that you want to achieve at a high level in life, I guarantee your success. And you can thank me later. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. This video, I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at DreAllDay, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Facebook /WorkOnYourGame. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course, and the website is WorkOnYourGame, that's .me, WorkOnYourGA.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, DreAllDay.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved.